What's going on, Kingdom Health fam? Today what we're going to be doing is diving into a beginner gymnastic rings workshop. So what I'm going to be showing you here is effectively how to be able to use these puppies specifically indoors on a door frame, as this is our closet underneath our staircase here. I'm in the middle of like our dining room kitchen area, so I'm going to be hooking this up on there, showing you how to do that and showing you how you can really get the most out of these rings when you're specifically working in a smaller frame place. So let's say you're working indoors rather than using these outside on like a balcony or a tree or like a basketball hoop, which are all different things that you can take these and throw them over that. So that way you can do other exercises that we're not going to show here today, like pull-ups, dips, support holds, L-sits, things like that, as you start to get more proficient with them. But it's not what we're going to be focusing on here today. So the very first thing I want to go ahead and look at with you guys is, depending on which brand of gymnastic rings you do end up getting, I have currently in the program these Fit Beast, I think is the brand name of this one, and I have these in the document that has recommended Kingdom Health equipment for you guys to be able to use. So you might have a different brand, it's totally cool. Most of them that you get, however, will have a little stopper like this, okay? So this little stopper is actually what you're going to insert those straps through to be able to link this up to a door. So you can see, I wish this was bigger, but this says stop to try to make sure people won't people won't open the door on you, but it's really not that big. But it has a plastic stopper right there that you can see. I'm gonna move it off my black shirt so you can't see it too well there. And then two little loops right here that you take these straps through. So this can hold on to almost any door, whether it's in your home, whether it's a closet, a bedroom, a hotel door, if you're out traveling. These things are really, really efficient in latching onto almost any and every door, except obviously if like I think of my nephew's door, he punched a hole in his door, and his door is pretty flimsy. I wouldn't put this on his door, right? So if you're looking at your door and it's like that thing isn't super stable, I would look for a different one. But if it's just a normal door, this thing can latch on there. So real quick too, since this is going to be a full workshop, just kind of breaking down everything for you guys. Most rings are going to come in two different sizes. So I have 32 millimeters, and then the other size that other rings will come in is a 28 millimeter size. So this 32 is usually good for most men or women who have larger hands, and the 28s are really good for most women or men who do have smaller hands. And if we want to get into the finer tuned aspects of it, the thicker 32 millimeters like this are better for pushing. So think of push-ups and dips, whereas the thinner ones aren't as thick for your hands to grab, so it's a little bit easier on movements like inverted rows and pull-ups, for instance. So pulling motions can be a little bit easier. Neither of them's wrong, right? So I could use 28 millimeters. I just like having this thicker size right here because I like to strengthen my forearms in any exercise that I do. So that's why I use these thicker ones, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to put them on the door here. So what you'll wanna go ahead and do is take this, right where these little red marks are is where the door frame should go, or not the door frame, the top of the door. So I'll show you right here. I'm gonna open up the closet. I'm gonna put this right here. Ow, I squished my fingers, don't do that. And then now, this is set up here very well. And you guys can see I'm using my whole body weight pulling on this thing. It's not gonna go anywhere, right? So, from here, you'll take out your straps, and with this, when I'm outside, I'll usually just throw these things to the ground. It's a little bit faster to unroll them. But inside, I don't want to, hurt the tile floor right here. Sammy wouldn't be too happy with me. But you untangle these, and the first thing I would do is I'm gonna have you guys, as you're setting these up, put in one at a time before putting the rings on them. So loop this through. So that's one. And then you're gonna do the second one. So one thing that a lot of people ask questions about is it bad if they're kind of, like you can see down there, this part right here, how it's a little bit like twisted? Is that a bad thing? Like, are they less stable if you do that? In my experience, no. It's more so just like an aesthetic thing. If you want them to be perfectly straight, you can have them be perfectly straight. But it doesn't make the biggest difference. So we'll go ahead and attach these on here. Make sure as you're putting them onto the door that you put one ring onto the same side. I have got a buckle from one side and a strap from the other side, and that just doesn't work out. So I'm gonna show you here as I adjust the camera. For this, you'll wanna go ahead and slide the ring onto the buckle side first, and then get it as straight as you can. And from here, you'll see on this buckle, this side right here has some teeth, and then the other side is more smooth, there's no teeth. You'll want to put it in the smooth side first. The reason being, the teeth are going to grab it on the other side and make it even. So with these, what's cool is they actually have numbers on the side, like this is a 14, 13 here, which just dictates the length, so those are every foot. When you're adjusting these, you can actually make sure that they are the exact same height by just simply doing that, making sure they line up on the same number. So I'm going to start off with a 9 right here. I don't know if that's going to be the height we stick with, but I'm going to put 9 right there for that one, and then I'll grab this other one and put this one on here. So guys, while we set these up, man, I just want to share for a second, these gymnastic rings are amazing, you guys. No matter where you're traveling in the world, no matter if you're working out from home or in a gym, these things are just phenomenal because of the fact that you can get stronger with minimal equipment. Like if I could have one piece of equipment for the rest of my life, gymnastic rings would be it. I'd be a little bit sad not to have some weights. I'm a big fan of kettlebells as well too. But gymnastic rings are just the one piece of equipment that you can do basically anything and everything with. They're so versatile that you really can do anything with them. Pull-ups, dips, push-ups, and you can regress every movement like we're going to be showing you here today. You can make sure every movement is scalable for your level. Again, we're going to see there's the teeth side right here. Going to go in the opposite side. Get that even with the 9 mark on here. Perfect. So now they're set up. The extra strands here, like this, for instance, you can wrap these up. Actually, I'll show you right now. You can wrap up these ends and strap them in on most of these into a little spot. So you just roll it up just like this. And now there's a little strap right there. So you can lock it in. And it makes it a little bit neater. I'll be honest with you guys, when I work out, I don't strap them up, but I want to show you guys what all you can do. So we're going to do that here right now. So that does make it neater, especially if you're keeping these, let's say, on a door for a long time, right? Maybe you end up just having a door that these are permanent on, or you're setting it up on a hook, like a rafter in your home. You know, you can just keep these in this spot right here. As you do this as well too, you can keep your gymnastic rings either in a box or just like already hooked up into that little stopper up top, and just have that be something that, you know, you can, for instance, store them just like this, hanging in a closet. Okay, makes it a lot easier. It only takes 2 minutes to put these things up. I'm just going slower to explain every step, but you can store them like that or in your box. Close that. Okay, so now we're gonna start getting into some movements here, guys. I'm gonna adjust the camera angle for it. So to begin with here, what we're gonna be doing is just simply going over some really good shoulder openers. I'm gonna actually turn this a little bit more. So these shoulder openers are exercises I really enjoy when I'm not even starting my workout yet. Just like, you know, basically just warming up. So what I like to do is you can take these, I'm gonna adjust that even more, and you can just simply walk forward with these behind you, letting this stretch you out just like so. So you can see, I'll move the angle here a little bit more too. With this, I'm stepping all the way forward here, 1 foot back, 1 foot front, and I'm just leaning into this. This is a great stretch to open everything up. Ooh, just kind of move around here, just like this. This is a great beginner shoulder opener for most people. You may not be able to go all the way back like I did there. Just work with what you can, right? Now another option for these shoulder openers. So when would you do these shoulder openers? Before your workout, after your workout, just if you have your rings hanging around the house. You would do it throughout the day, maybe even on the computer a lot, and you want to open your posture up. So now we come here, and we have the palms still facing forward rather than them facing down like with the last one. And just from here, just basically doing like snow angels to where you're going up and down. I can't go all the way up because there's a roof here, so I can actually squat down. Oh, that's such a good stretch. Ooh. Both of those, looks like one of the, I didn't tie up the straps to, the extra strap fell off there. Both of those, really great to open things up. You can also just grab one of these and come behind the back here and just let this thing open up, kind of pulling in that opposite direction. It's a really good chest opener here, so it's just simply this hand's behind the back. If you want to get a little neck stretch into it, you can grab your hand, put it on that same side. So opposite hand going on the same side of the head as the hand that's holding the ring. And pull that to the side a little bit. Oh. Anytime your hand is behind your back like that, it opens up the room for a really nice neck stretch here. So you guys can see before you even start working out with these rings, you can use them just to gain more mobility in your shoulder joints. So start with those snow angels. Then you can work with just simply walking forward and letting this stretch you out back here. And then you can work with that behind the back. Neck stretch here as well too. All of these are really, really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and show, to begin with, some of my favorite exercises specifically for warming up my shoulders before we even go into the push-ups or the inverted rows. This is something that's not currently in the programs, at least in the foundations program when people start off. It is in more of the later programs, but with this, This is why I don't personally tie up my extra straps, because if you have to adjust them, you have to undo that anyways. But I made them a little bit shorter here so that we can be in frame. So I'm going to show you 3 different moves that I really enjoy to warm up the shoulders. So these are going to look like right here. We're going to be leaning back. And to begin with, we're just simply going to do a T and a Y. So what does that look like? The T is pulling the arms out to where you are at a T shape. Your arms are coming out to here. So I'll do a couple of those to show you what it is. Boom, T. Boom, keeping your arms as straight as you possibly can. Boom. And as you do this too, controlling the way down, your upper back should be burning a little bit on the way down because you're not going down quickly. Boom. So that's a T. Now I'll show you a Y. What that looks like is hands are going to go up like a Y. So here we go. Boom. Boom. So just after doing usually 10 reps of those, 10, 15, your shoulders are going to start to burn. My favorite combination for warm-ups, try this out on your own, even if it's not in your program, is to do 2 sets of 12 reps of Ys and Ts together. So what does that look like? It looks like you're doing 6 Ys and 6 Ts for a total of 12 reps. And that's going to be an alternating fashion to where it's rep 1 is a Y, rep 2 is a T, rep 3 is a Y, rep 4 is a T. So it look like this. Doing it for 2 sets, you don't need to do a lot, but this will make sure that, especially if you're working a computer job, if you're driving a lot, if you're on the computer, that you're doing something that's going to open up your shoulders and get your rear delts warmed up to prevent injuries and keep everything really, really healthy. One reason a lot of people get shoulder injuries is because of the fact that they don't warm up specifically this little muscle right back here, which is your rear delt. This muscle for a lot of us is, in this position here on the computer or driving, it's stretched out and weak. So we want to use it by going into these external rotation style movements before we work out. This will make your presses and your pulls feel really, really good. And you really won't have a lot of injuries when you just focus on giving your rear delt some attention all the time. Now, second or third rear delt exercise that I really enjoy is called a face pull. So with this one, we're basically coming here. So you can imagine it's almost like a W, okay? If you want to keep everything in that letter format there. So with the face pull, this one, if I could only choose one of these, I would do the face pulls. But what's really cool is you don't have to choose one of them, so you can use all 3 of them, alternating them or doing one at a time. Right here. And your feet can be, pretty wide, just for how much balance you need. For all these exercises, the more upright you are, so you see I became more upright, the easier it's going to be. The further forward your feet are, or the closer they are to the door, the harder they're going to be. The more lean back and horizontal, the more difficult they are. So here is the face pull. Boom. Basically making like an X with the body. Boom. 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 Those face pulls, similar format, 2 sets of 10 to 20 reps before your main movements of the day. Really good just to warm everything up there. So now we've shown how can you get more mobility. You do those snow angels and work some of the mobility exercises. How can we get stronger and activate our rear delts before actual exercises? use the face pulls, the Ys, the Ts. Now, we'll start to take a look at some more of the main movements. Most of these are going to be upper body movements, but I'm also going to show you how you can use the rings to assist you in your lower body movements, okay? So, with this, we're going to first start off with push-ups on the rings, okay? So, with this, the reason why doing push-ups on the rings is very effective is, I'll use an example. When I was a personal trainer in a gym, most of the individuals who start personal training couldn't do a full push-up. But a push-up is still a phenomenal movement that allows people to be able to get really, really strong. So, and there's a really low risk of injuries when you do them right. So we would end up working with a TRX or Smith machine or a bench and doing push-ups just at a higher angle at a level that was doable for the person. So I share that to say that you can get all the benefits of push-ups from the ground by doing them on the rings if you can't do them on the ground yet. And you just slowly work your way down, right? So making it a little bit more difficult and lengthening the straps to make it harder for you. So with this too, if you're in the gym, one thing I want to let you guys know is that you can use a TRX for all of the movements I'm showing you today. All of the movements I'm showing you today, you can also use a TRX. When we start to get to movements like pull-ups, outside, you can as well. But these you can. So let's go ahead and start off here with push-ups. My feet are up against the door. I'm gonna move this here. So my feet are up against the door. And I'm gonna focus on getting low and pushing up. Boom. 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 And if I want this to be harder, what I can do is increase the length of the straps and bring my hands closer to the ground. So as you're doing this, some people ask questions, what's the best hand placement? Should, your thumbs be facing up technically as you're pushing like this, or should they be kind of like diagonal like this, or flat? Really, it's whatever's gonna feel best for you, but most people feel best at that diagonal angle. That's gonna be a really good place. And as you're doing this movement too, it's really important that as you get down to the bottom, you're squeezing those shoulder blades together. So you're not just simply coming here and pushing up, you are actively retracting your shoulder blades, getting your upper back to feel turned on as you're at the bottom of the movements. So these push-ups are really good. As you do the movement, you'll want to exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. The best first place to begin is to work up to being able to do 100 of those in one workout through 10 sets of 10 reps. Then, once you can do that, focus on decreasing the height of them and making it more challenging. But we want to build up that muscular endurance, especially if it's your first time working out in a while, right? Now, next movement we're going to focus on is an inverted row. So this one is really fun. This is the whole reason I actually have people start off with these rings, because of the inverted row. Just such a powerful movement. As you start this one, you'll want to go ahead and begin with your butt on the ground. However, you don't want to bring your butt onto the ground after every rep, right? Like I'll show you here. You don't want to come down after each rep. This is not right. What you'll want to do is focus on keeping your hips up and squeezing your butt and your core, just like this. Now, one thing you'll see me doing in that is, as I'm pulling, on some of those reps, I was turning my palms up. This is really handy because what it does is it allows you to be able to activate your biceps a little bit more with the movement. So that is just a little bit of an extra tip if you want to work your arms in that movement a little bit more. So the inverted row, typically, you will want to shorten those straps comparatively to your push-ups. Like that height I was at was harder on the rows than it was on the push-ups because of the fact that it was just simply, the leverages are a little bit different for each movement. So if you need to adjust in between each of these, that's perfectly normal. Guys, I'm gonna grab a water real quick. Next one that we'll want to go ahead and do is going to be bicep curls and tricep extensions. So this is a fun one for anybody who wants to do a little bit of bodybuilding and focus on your arms. So you can work some really good bicep curls, just like so. Keeping your elbows up high. I'm gonna change this just a little bit. You'll want to keep your elbows high because this is different than an inverted row, to where with the inverted row you're pulling here, right? Elbows are going back. We're actually keeping the elbows up and pulling this to the forehead or past the forehead, just like so. This is a great way to get your biceps working even more in this movement. Okay, I gotta hurry this video up. We're running late for this next appointment here. But now, the tricep extensions are the exact opposite. Right here, you let the elbows go up and then push up. My feet are fixed up against the wall here. Boom. Those are two ways that you can get in some extra bodybuilding with this workout or with these equipments. I like those for 3 sets of 10 to 15 at the end of the workout. And then finally, guys, one thing I want to show you here is for your split squats. You can use one of these for balance when working those. So, as you can see here, I'm working the split squat. This ring can be here to balance me. So that's a great way you can use it to help out with your lower body movements. All right, y'all. So with all of that, this concludes the workshop for the rings. I hope this is helpful for you guys, showing you some new movements and how to be able to use these to the best of your abilities. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you guys next time.